Yeah. Welcome to episode 75 of the Pack Life Podcast. I'm your host, Bruiser Carter, along with family. Beside me, we got my brother, Mr. Cut Carter. And below me, we got Mr. In the Car, whipping that thing, Mr. Trey Kemp.
This girl, really, guys?
Guess not.
Guess not, Trey. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you hear me? Did you hear your introduction?
No, but hey.
Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing good. You driving, speeding. Better drive safe.
I'm driving safely. I'm driving 50 miles per hour.
How you doing, Cut?
Good.
Good. I'm well. A lot of NFL, a lot of NBA news we got to get into. We're going to start with the National Basketball Association. Because Boston Celtics lead. The Boston Celtics are down 2-1 to the Miami Heat. Game 4 is tomorrow, while the Los Angeles Lakers take a convincing 2-0 lead over the Denver Nuggets to lead 2-0 after the Anthony Davis buzzer beater shot to give them the 2-0 lead. I'm going to start with Cut Carter because he got the retro Lonzo Ball jersey on from the Lakers. Cut. We'll start with the Lakers Nugget series. What has been your biggest takeaways from that series so far?
Anthony Davis is doing what I thought he would do and being the best big man in the league. LeBron's LeBron. Caruso stepping up a lot. KCP stepping up. I mean, just there's not a series that I could really judge the Lakers on. I know they're gonna win it. This isn't a real it's a test for them, but it's not the test everybody had planned for them. So I'm not saying Lakers in 5. I feel like they win tonight. They could really do it in 4.
I agree. But we didn't talk about last episode. We predicted Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Clippers. We got to talk about how the Clippers ultimately fell short to the Nuggets. Paul George played like crap. Kawhi, supposed to be the best player in the world, played like crap.
It was a laughable offense. I picked the Nuggets.
Yeah, you picked the Clippers to win.
No, I picked the Clippers to win from the jump, but then I picked the Nuggets and when they made it 7.
Yeah. You and Jace picked the Nuggets in 7 when they played Game 7.
It was a lot of hype, and I'm walking through the city trying to see what all the hype about.
Trey, you have been the biggest Nuggets fan I know. Tell me, how did they prevail against the Los Angeles Clippers?
Well, first, I have to say this because it's just been on my tongue since Derek said it. AD is not – okay. AD, wouldn't consider – wait, chill out. I'm not about to say AD is not the best anything, so relax. Definitely not about to say – comparing AD to Jokic, AD is better. But listen, AD is the same. The only thing I could come up with is the word archetype as Giannis, because Giannis plays more of a – AD's post game is better than Giannis's, AD has a better three-point than Giannis, But you don't call Giannis a big man. Like, AD's not considered a big man. That's all I'm saying. So Jokic is the best big man, or AKA center. He's the best center in the league. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight. Joel Embiid is the most dominant, and we can argue that for another day. I just had to get that out, bro. But to answer your question, I mean, all they have to do, they just have to play their roles. Everyone has to play their role. Like, Jokic and Murray really can't do any more than what they're doing. And the thing is, they can't be off. Like, them scoring 15, 18 points, that's going to be an automatic L. So, I mean, it's like, you see what the Lakers had to do in order to win that last game. It was a great shot by AD. Come on now. And Plumlee not doing his job. Plumlee wanted absolutely nothing to do with defending that shot. How do you want absolutely nothing to do with closing out? He better not see 5 minutes. If you see all these replays, I don't know why it took replays for people to see it, but as soon as he came in the game, Jeremy Grant, or whichever Grant he is, was like, oh, yeah, help defense. You got help. like, come help me. That doesn't mean come and just stand behind LeBron. So as soon as the ball was inbounds, he didn't even follow his man. He just stood right behind LeBron and pointed to, like, come on. It was crazy. That was so crazy. So
I just find it funny that how don't you not consider Anthony Davis a big man? Like, how is he not a big? He's a forward.
No, I'm saying no. You don't when you're having conversation about big men, you're not. Giannis is not in that conversation. I'm saying AD can play the 5, but he's dominantly at the 4. But when you're saying big men, you're mainly talking about the centers, like the centers, and most centers these days can play the 4. So that's how I get. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're including AD in big men, he's the best big man if he's included. But I'm not like, AD is much more than a big man. Most big men. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing the stereotype of big man.
I get you trying to say. You're trying to omit Anthony Davis out of your conversation, and I don't appreciate that, Trey.
No, I see how it can look that way.
But
to go on the record, Anthony Davis is better than Nikola Jokic. Like, come on.
I think Jokic ahead of the series, when they was down, I think 3-1 to the Jazz in round 1, I said the Nuggets should go out and get a superstar because that's the only way they can help this team win. But after them defeating the Jazz, and after them coming down from 3-1 to beat the Clippers, I recant my statement, and I think the Nuggets should go get a star 3 that could play the 3 to help them as Michael Porter Jr. develops. I don't know if they get that through trading Gary Harris.
But do you have anything in mind? Like, do
I have a player in mind? I don't, because I don't know. I got to see how this upcoming offseason will look and which stars become disgruntled about their situation. But the Nuggets are good. Jokic is a superstar. Jamal Murray is an upcoming star. My bad, not superstar. But I'm proud of Nuggets.
So do both of you think this is game, set, match? Like, the Nuggets will not win this series?
Yes.
If they win tonight.
I hear Cut say yes.
If they don't win this series tonight, they will definitely not win this series. I mean, win this game tonight, they won't win the series. Like, it's do or die.
So I was about to say, today is the pivotal game, correct?
Yeah,
that's going to change the momentum.
Yeah, but they should have won game 2, though. If they would have won game 2, they would have been in a situation.
You know who's going to win. You know how today's game's going to go. Come on, fellas.
I got the Lakers.
Derek, we see that we have
LeBron getting 30 tonight.
Oh, that's the thing. It's not about LeBron right now, Anthony. We can't let you do what you did, Anthony, because we are expecting the Nuggets. The Nuggets are expecting LeBron to, like, snap. Like, that's damage control.
20 in the first half. Finished with 26 because he took his foot off the gas in the second half.
But that's what I'm saying. Did you see some of the buckets LeBron was getting, bro? The Nuggets was trying LeBron, bro. Like, leaving him wide open on sprint. Like, what? He was getting tried on a couple jump shots.
Guard him. When PJ Dozier has to come in the game to give your team a spark.
The 12th man on rotation, I might add.
No, but Bruiser, this is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that is set in the game plan. Like, the defense is not revolved around stopping LeBron. It's
Trey,
not.
Trey, I'll just give you a simple question. Will the Nuggets win this series? Yes or no?
I'm the same thing like you said. If they win this game, you're darn right. The Nuggets will win in 7. If they win this game, it is a wrap. It is a wrap. It is a wrap if they win this game. I'm
telling you. Why is it divided on the team like this when?
But wait, Bruiser. But I will say this. Like, I say it's a wrap, but when we watched the last game and LeBron looked at Anthony Davis, if he does that game 7, then I'm going for the Lakers. Like, I'm not going for
it won't go 7. I would like to introduce to the podcast Mr. Jonathan Marshall. John, how are you doing today, sir?
What's up, bro?
Hey, John.
Good, Trey. Can't tell that skin color if you're actually in a dark area.
John, you predicted the Clippers to beat the Nuggets game 7, as did I. What went wrong that game 7 for the Clippers?
Last week, when we discussed the potential outcomes for the playoffs. We said that the Clippers were going to lose, and we were watching that game live, and they blew it. Where we're wrong, the Clippers have no leadership. Doc Rivers has hella experience losing in 3-1 situations.
Three.
So it's not uncanny that happened. The Nuggets just, I don't know, man. They did what they needed to do, and now they're in a situation where they're not going to be able to replicate that because the Lakers are star-powered. This is probably the most likable team in the NBA. We have a lot of players that are veterans who people have followed over the years and come to love. So they are the NBA's team right now, and it's going to be kind of hard for the Nuggets to win over the NBA fan favorites right now for the ring. So when you got that much momentum, that much support from an entire fan base, I don't see them losing. But I am still going for the Nuggets, however.
Gotcha. I like what we did last week when we discussed the eliminated playoff teams, how they could potentially bounce back or what's next for them. So I want to talk about the Clippers real quick. What's next for the Clippers? Montrezl Harrell contract is up, I believe. Kawhi and Paul George only signed a 2-year deal with a player option at the end. So it's like, what's next for this team? Like, what can they do? Should they run it back with the same squad next year and hope for the best, or should they like trade some pieces, go get help, go get a big man? Like, what do the Clippers need? Like, what's next for them? What do they need? I'll start with you, Cut.
I'm all for keeping Kawhi, obviously, because but the thing with PG is that you kind of need to keep him because you gave up so much for him. But I think your team isn't, from all the reports and stuff, I don't think your team is really sold on PG. And PG has never won anything as well. So if I'm the Clippers best bet is trying to get a, like, because, I said the 76ers should sell too. Mm-hmm. I would try to flip Paul George and some other assets for Embiid.
Before you continue, Marcus Morris' contract is expiring. Montrezl Harrell, Patrick Patterson, and Reggie Jackson.
I'll sign and trade Montrezl Harrell. I'll trade him to the Sixers.
And Jermichael Green.
How many years is on Paul George's contract?
Yeah, it's 2 more years. Wait.
And Kawhi just has 1 more next year, right? Next year is Kawhi's last year.
He has both. Him and Kawhi both have 1 year and a player option.
Next year, right?
1 year and a player option. So they can either opt in, opt out if they don't like the situation in Los Angeles.
I can see Kawhi doing it. I can see Kawhi possibly doing it, but then again, he's from LA, so he might stay long term.
But you were talking about Embiid, trying to potentially go get Embiid.
Yeah, I think that's a good person for them to get. I mean, if they don't blow it up, I still don't see nothing changing for them. The Warriors gonna be back next year.
Mavericks will be better.
Mavericks will be better. The teams they struggle with are gonna be better. So, I mean, I don't understand. The Nuggets will be better next year, even if the Nuggets could stay pat and be better next year, or they could flip some for Bradley Beal, as I've always been saying, and they'll be in good shape too. So it's not looking good for the Clippers, to be honest, at all.
John, what do you think the Clippers need to make a conference finals appearance? Forget a conference finals appearance.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Clippers, they are an interesting situation. That team has a lot of veterans on it and not really a lot of young talent that can be developed into a superstar. I believe, like, the youngest talent over there that could probably be something is Landry Shamet. But
23 years old, yep.
And I think I love the way he comes off the screen and shoot. But as far as what they need to go to the conference championship, it does come down to, I feel like, having a dominant big. Obviously, that was, I feel, their Achilles tendon when they played the Nuggets, with Jokic being able to carve them up and no one really being able to stop him doing what he needed to do to help the Nuggets win. So I believe if you go out and get a elite type of big, maybe top 5 type of big, and you have Kawhi and Paul George returning, they can go back. They're going to win a lot of regular season games anyway, I feel like, just because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and the rest of that team, they still are hoopers, but they were in a pressured moment. A moment they've never faced as a collective group before together. And, the Nuggets have been. They've been to the playoffs for the 3 consecutive years. They've been faced with pressure like that. So it makes sense for them to have won that series. And I feel like this this is that tension that the Clippers needed. This is what they needed to go back. This type of energy that's weighing on their spirit and looming over that entire organization. But they are going to go need to get a big if they want to have a chance at the conference finals next year. But like Derek said, with Warriors returning at full strength and probably getting, having the number 1 pick, it's just going to be interesting to see how the Clippers are going to handle all of the star power that's going to be coming back to the Western Conference next year.
Before we continue, how do we feel about the report saying Kawhi Leonard is not a leader?
I mean, he's not a leader.
He leads by example. He's one of the he's just a different type of leader. He's not vocal.
I don't think he.
But his play
He's a leader. He just dominate. He try to dominate when he can. But I think.
You continue, Derek. You got it.
Games he played caught up with him. The amount of games he played, the every other day games in the bubble, that caught up with him because he ultimately never played that many games in that stretch of time ever in a long time. The last time he did that might have been the year before he got hurt with San Antonio. So he's not accustomed to you could, and it was everything looked flat. It's like he didn't have no more legs.
They say when he was with San Antonio, he wasn't the leader as Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker created the culture. He went to Toronto. Larry was the clear leader in Toronto. Then when he was asked to lead this Clippers team, he failed. Do we look at Kawhi different? Do we look at Kawhi different because he's not a leader?
No, he's just a player. He just he don't have real you can tell he's not that social. He just hoop. He just like to play. So.
But if we consider, because not y'all, but people are considering Kawhi as the best, as I welcome Damon Geis into the podcast. How do we feel about, because we consider the greats, Jordan, Kobe, Bron, they're all vocal to their teammates.
He was never that, but the media tried to make him that.
Got you.
He never claimed to be that either.
Well, he did say he was the new king of LA on his commercials, in his New Balance commercials.
Yo, it's Kobe the king of LA.
Back to the what's next for the Clippers. Damon, do you want to talk? Or are you good?
Yeah, I'll talk.
What's next for the Clippers, bro? How can they make the conference finals? Do you agree with Cut and John, or do you think there's something else the Clippers should do?
They missed their window. For me,
dang, that's crazy.
Window. With Golden State coming back, with Denver taking a step forward, I feel like Utah was taking a step forward as well. There's just too many other components. The Lakers are going to be fine. They have 2 all first-team NBA Hall of Famer players. They'll be fine. The rest of it, they'll figure it out. Vogel. But that's the thing. The Clippers are worried about – I feel like the Clippers are the new Rockets. But their window was closed very quickly.
The new Rockets?
The new Rockets. They didn't even get to play They didn't get to play their Golden State. That's what they geared up for, and they didn't get to that. That's so now they blow it up. And I feel like Paul George, that report was hilarious.
You're aggressive. You know your cut Carter today.
When they said Post was rolling their eyes at Paul, that's hilarious. He's out. He's gone. So
you're saying they're the new Rock.
I send them back to Indiana.
You on your cut Carter today. I see them on time. I blow it up. It only had 1 season together.
He said he wouldn't go back to Indianapolis. Get me out of here. They don't want to win.
Have a player. He don't have a no trade clause. You send him where you won't send him.
I do think he played horrible in the Western Conference. It was just too inconsistent with his play. And I mean, I would trade him. If this was a 2K franchise and you played like that, I'd trade you. That's unacceptable. And I feel like you can go and get some young talent. And with Kawhi Leonard, you build around Kawhi. You don't build around Paul George.
But
Paul George
Kawhi asked for Paul George. He wanted Paul George. That's why he signed the Clippers. If there was no Paul George, Kawhi would not be there.
I bet you Kawhi Leonard wasn't expecting Paul George to play like that.
I agree with that statement.
They both went out sad, though.
I don't put that on Kawhi.
Kawhi didn't go out.
You have 3 finals appearances. You have 2 rings.
Kawhi went. He wasn't going
right.
crazy.
Kawhi didn't go out sad. Kawhi didn't go out sad.
He didn't sit side of the backboard.
He didn't go outside all the way. Paul
that side of the backboard that's literally what set it up for Paul George criticism, that side of the backboard thing. Everybody was like, "Oh no!"
And that's what I'm thinking about. Like when I say Paul George played terrible, that's the shot I'm thinking about. Like, you can't keep that in game.
That video, they showed the video of Harden. It was when he ducked.
Nah, they said playoff P is way off P.
Way off P. That's so disrespectful.
Might bring you when folks be missing shots, man. You be like way off.
Before we move to the Eastern Conference Finals, we talked about this like questions, but we never actually discussed it. Doc Rivers as a head coach, one NBA championship, did not bring this Clippers team to the conference finals. Only has one, like I said, one final championship. Had blew a 3-1 lead with McGrady, Garnett, Paul Pierce, and now Kawhi and Paul George. Do we look at Doc Rivers different after this loss to the Nuggets, blowing a 3-1 lead?
It's a bad look, but it's not like it's not that many coaches that win like that for real. Except Pop, like it's not. And I mean, Spoelstra got 3, but who else really be winning?
Nick Nurse, Tyronn Lue.
That's one ring. One.
Kerr.
Okay, Kerr. My bad. That's the other one. So Kerr, in the last couple of years, who? Kerr, Phil Jackson, Pop.
They're gonna have at least one ring.
More than one. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else got one.
Doc has one, and Doc has always had a superstar. So
Doc always had a superstar.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
KG.
McGrady. That was before my time, but I knew McGrady was a superstar, right?
Chris Paul.
That Clippers team was not all that, bro.
It's Chris Paul. Chris Paul a superstar.
At that time, Chris Paul was a superstar.
He was a superstar at that time, but bro, you thought Lob City was gonna win a ring, bro? Be real. That's what
they had championship.
That never works. When has that worked?
When they beat Golden State. I mean, not Golden State, San Antonio. Chris Paul hit that. Yeah. And
who they played?
That's
who they played.
They played the Rockets and blew a 3-1 lead.
They played a better superstar.
That don't matter. If Doc Rivers was like that, they would have got.
You can't. The coach always gonna get the blame, bro. But in this case,
I'm not saying that. It's still on the players, but you're not.
I'm trying to say.
I said Doc Rivers has always had
his status as a coach. I'm saying he's has one ring. Some coaches don't get that. And who has multiple rings other than Steve Kerr, Pop, Phil Jackson? In recent era, in the last 12 years, Steve Kerr, Pop, and Phil Jackson.
He has a ring with maybe arguably the best
team
best team ever, and has never been back to a champion since then. But
against what?
He had arguably the best team ever, but I mean that Celtics team. I'm not saying they're one of the best ever, but they were pretty damn good. And he hasn't been back since.
The Lakers played him close though.
John, do you agree with their assertion about Doc Rivers?
I think you look at Doc Rivers definitely differently after this series because it is unacceptable. Like, all you needed was one game, and you have an MVP Finals individual on your team to make that happen. You had the tools. They surrounded that team. This is the best Clippers team that he had since he's been there. And it's kind of just like, at what point do you stop making excuses for Doc Rivers and actually point to him and say, like, you got to do better? So with that, I think you look at him differently. I think this diminishes like the elegance of his career because it's starting to stack up. This team hasn't been to the Western Conference Finals, and you ran through a lot of superstar players, and you just haven't been able to really do anything with them. So I guess, probably one more year. I wouldn't give him one more year. I think, like, they got to have a really great record starting off for him not to get fired. But if it's like some stuff like somehow the Clippers go like 10-10 or something to start the season next year, I think they fire him and they move on. But the expectations and the ceiling is going to be extremely high in order for him to retain his job. So he's definitely on the bubble and definitely on the hot seat.
Well, like Paul George said, it was never championship or bust for this team.
We didn't feel like the championship year.
I don't like lies. I don't like
that's a cap. Like, anybody with Kawhi Leonard definitely has championship aspirations. Like,
he just won one. You think he won one to go sit there?
I know them folks was like, yeah, bro, get him out of here.
They was like,
why
next
you clapping
question.
on TV like that?
They was like, yeah, can we cut out somebody else?
I think they can. The possibilities of what the Clippers could do to that roster are high because it's LA. So you got the market.
Well, it's not that high. They got no draft picks.
So will they bring DeRozan in?
As far as free agent, bro, they could be able to make a splash of free agency.
DeRozan?
Yes.
But y'all just said they need a big.
Gordon Hayward?
But they got to Montrez is gone.
Gordon Hayward?
Morris twin is gone. And honestly, bro, I would trade Paul George. I'm sorry. I would.
What? For what?
Well, a ham sandwich.
Huh?
The big man you want, you trade him for.
Gobert?
Personally, I say Embiid. Gobert that will work. Jazz would not say no, but me and John was talking about Embiid because we feel like the Sixers might blow it up. But if they don't, bruh, you can't. It's not about them right now, but I'm saying the Sixers need to figure out. You need to put shooting around Ben Simmons if that's who you're gonna ride with, or you need to go all in on Embiid and build around him.
Let the Sixers thing go, y'all.
They can't coexist. And then, as you say, KD and Kyrie are coming. So again, they will not win with that team.
Speaking of the East, the Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat are up 2-1 against the Boston Celtics after the Boston Celtics defeated the Miami Heat in Game 3. Game 4 is Wednesday. What are you guys' takeaways from that series? It looked like the Miami had the series in a stranglehold, but Boston fought its way out after the return of Gordon Hayward, and now they look like they would take over. I'm gonna predict Boston to win Game 4, but I'll still stay with my prediction in Miami in 6. Damon, what are your takeaways from this series?
Did Gordon Hayward shut me up? Is he better with him? I don't know. I think they might be. That boy, I don't want to give out any hate. I feel like I've been doing good. I'm doing very positive.
Okay, let's see.
Is Kimba the 4th best player on his team right now?
I know where this conversation's heading. Let's stay away from that Kyrie Kimba conversation. I know
I'm not talking about Kyrie. I'm just asking because watching Game 3.
Kimba's in a slump right now. He's in a slump for sure. He was in a slump in that Toronto series.
I'm just asking you a question. Is he the 4th best player on his team?
I would say no. I have him as the 3rd.
You don't think
Gordon Hayward has to do it again for me to say.
I was not about Gordon Hayward. I was talking about Marcus Smart.
Oh, Cut John, is Kemba Walker the 4th best player on his team right now?
In this last 2 series, he ain't been playing like.
Marcus Smart has been playing great.
The last 2 series, I'll give him that. He's been the 4th best. I don't think that's a knock on him overall, but he ended up being out the first round, so I guess that could have something to do with it.
Kimba's in a slump for sure.
Kimba's in a slump, but Kimba's also in the first year of that Boston system, and the rest of those players have been there and building continuity with Brad Stevens and chemistry. So you don't make excuses, but you do have to be factual, and those are the facts. Kimba Walker can play better.
And he ain't never played with anybody better than him before. That's another thing. It ain't like he went from playing
with nobody better than Kimba.
I said Kimba's never played with nobody better than himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. These are some of the best teammates he's ever had.
I mean, the same can't be said about the other person because he played with the GOAT first. But
next.
Why are we bringing up Kyrie?
I'm saying because I feel like that's what you're going to do.
I wasn't.
I feel like that was what it was.
That boy Gordon Hayward said, "I ain't going to see my childbirth. I'm hooping in the bubble. This the conference."
I thought that was a little wild, but you understand it. I thought that was wild.
It was another girl, wasn't it? Because that's what his wife. No, remember
girlfriend.
When she was
Daddy's always happy.
Daddy's always happy. Hey, he's like, it's a girl. He's like, yeah, another girl.
Damn, that mean
this is a boy, huh?
He really not happy.
I don't know the gender. What you said, Damon?
I think he really not happy.
That's why he going stupid in the playoffs.
This is for him. This if his contract is up after this year, I don't remember. This is his window.
But they said he trying to see Trump before he get out of office.
Hey, bro. This Celtics Heat series. Cut. Takeaways.
Celtics win Game 4. Heat win Game 5.
Oh, you still got Celtics in 7, right?
You win game
Okay,
5,
sure.
win game 6, and then go 7.
So you think they will blow a 3-1 lead?
What if the Heat don't win another game?
He could not win another game.
I think
He could have done it out. I got the Celtics still winning, but the Heat look great. So
when the Celtics get the momentum, it's very hard.
I'll win tomorrow, win the series. Put it like that.
I think before I let you go, John, it's time for us to look back at Jimmy Butler's superstar card.
No, it's sailed, flown away.
No,
after they had a chance to send Milwaukee home in Game 6 when he put up 2 points, it was done.
I don't think Jimmy Butler's superstar no more, Derek.
No.
What he do?
He put up 2 points to send Milwaukee home in Game 6 with no Giannis. And
Game 5.
No, it was Game 6.
We won 5 games.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Game 5. And he put up 2 points? No. The ship is set.
I think it's time to look back at that.
Always about points.
But points have to matter a little.
Like,
they got to get like 20 points per game, you know.
Bro, he's not. He does what he has to do to win.
Sound like a Draymond performance to me.
He on a team where a bunch of other people can shoot better than him and get hot. Why not feed the hot?
Like Draymond to me.
Draymond can shoot like Jimmy Butler.
So wait, what are some superstars that don't put up more than 20 points per game? I'm just asking.
You can't name one.
Did Rondo used to be a superstar?
No.
Before my time, I don't know.
No.
Celtics Rondo wasn't a superstar?
John, was Celtics Rondo a superstar?
Like early, like not early, but championship around that time. He was an all-star.
He was an all-star. But I don't think he had to be a superstar on that team.
He wasn't the best player on that team.
He was top 3 every time.
Being top 3 on your team, you're a superstar, though.
No, but you in that, bro, on a team like that was dominant and always coming out and beating LeBron James.
So,
because
he was not a superstar. No,
all right, bro. Nonetheless, bro, it's okay, bro. Jimmy, he might, bro. The game is changing.
The game is changing.
He is the key to that team winning. I think without that team, without him, they will not win.
Demond disagrees.
Bam.
He said, "Bam."
You gonna put it on the person that's never been in the playoffs before? Okay. He ain't never been in the playoffs before.
Bam gets more.
Every team he's been with except the Wolves, I think. Or they might have went.
They went to the playoffs. They went.
Every team he's been to. Wolves, Sixers, Heat. He's always in the playoffs.
Oh, and this is the farthest he's been.
And he's the best player on that team.
No.
And this is the best coach that he's had. Next to Tom Thibodeau.
He's the best coach he has. John, who's more crucial to the Heat's success, Bam Adebayo or Jimmy Butler?
Is this really a question? Like, without Jimmy Butler, they are not.
He's a Jimmy Butler fan. He's like the only number one.
No, this is completely unbiased, bro. Like, without Jimmy Butler, they're not in the
playoffs. That's what I'm saying. They're not in the offs.
Without Jimmy Butler, you think okay, you said he only had 2 points. You think that without Jimmy Butler, they're beating the Milwaukee Bucks, bro? Like, for real?
That is a legit question.
Be honest.
He makes them a better team. That's not a problem. I'm just saying he's not the better player.
You're saying as if they don't need Jimmy Butler to be.
I never said that.
I think but you got to look for the fact that he was guarding Middleton, and they play that little zone they play. But Bam got the Giannis, inside with the box they put around Giannis. He had that assignment. But yes, Giannis is like in between Jimmy and Bam's size. So in the paint, they obviously gonna put Bam on him, and then on the perimeter, Jimmy could get him. But I
didn't even bring up the fact that he was guarding Giannis. You did that for me, so thank you.
You know what I'm saying, but Bam.
My point is, Bam does it for them. He guards the best assignment 9 times out of 10. He's bringing the ball up the court. He orchestrates.
Not guarding the best assignment. Bam's guarding. Bam is 6'9", Jimmy is 6'7".
Robinson,
the 6'9" center.
Hey, man. And he runs it. He runs the game.
So does Jimmy. They both bring the ball up. And Bam is pick and pop mid-range. Jimmy can shoot threes in mid-range. And he gets passes going. And he plays perimeter D and gets a lot of steals. And he gets the shooters going.
He is a very good player. He's just not the best on his team. What are you, telling me all this for? That's what I'm saying.
The initial argument was about him being a superstar.
No.
Him saying he's not the best player on the team is just blasphemous.
He's not a superstar.
Okay, that's your. I mean, that 10th spot for who's the 10th best, and because Paul George isn't, so I don't know who you want to get a 10th spot to. But
where did you rank Jokic?
he like 9. Who was it? My list was LeBron.
9.
Not in order. And did I include KD, bro? Did I do them?
I don't think so. You didn't include KD or stuff.
I think I did though to make it 10.
Well, let's do it.
LeBron, KD, Steph,
AD,
Harden, Giannis.
Steph Curry.
He said Steph.
Damian Lillard. Luka.
Dame. That's what I forgot.
Luka Doncic.
Luka.
Nikola Jokic.
I guess.
You get. That's not a single way he babied AD the other night.
Who gamed him? Oh, my bad.
Don't matter. Jokic put up the last 11. What?
He put up the last 10. He scored. He didn't miss a shot in the fourth quarter.
How much is 11 more than 10?
You lost the game. John, what are your Eastern Conference?
Is Russ in the top 10 still?
No. No.
MVP.
It don't matter.
John,
Russ in the top 10 still?
John, what are your Eastern Conference Finals takeaways?
Hold up. I know y'all. Did y'all see that Maceo tweet where he said it was Michael Jordan and Russell Westbrook
versus Allen Iverson and LeBron?
And he was like, Michael Jordan greater than Michael Jordan with Westbrook.
So disrespectful. John, Eastern Conference Finals takeaways. The floor is yours.
The Celtics are going to win in 7, is my opinion. Gordon Hayward is a huge difference maker. Glad he's back on the court. Kimba Walker is going to – they just need to build more chemistry. The altercation that occurred in the locker room, at the locker room, wherever, it obviously has given this team new life and a sense of urgency. So I think that that's the biggest takeaway from the Eastern Conference Finals so far, the little altercation situation and Brad Stevens' conversation with the leaders late night following Game 2's loss. So I feel like that really gave them a new perspective. And I don't think they're going to just take that lightly. I like them to win in 7. The Heat are good, but they are still in their first year as a unit together. And I just don't think units that come together in their first year win. The Heat didn't do it in 2014 or 2010. The Cavs didn't do it when LeBron got – I know it's 2 LeBron players, but I'm thinking about teams who got together. The Warriors didn't do it when they were all there, except when they got KD. That's different. But when you think about, like, teams like that, like, it's only Jimmy Butler, you know? He has a whole lot of role players. They still got to develop, in my personal opinion. And I think the Celtics are going to go ahead and take over the series. They might win the rest of the games. Like,
John used role players loosely. Don't pay too much mind to that audience. That boy Jaylen Brown wasn't going for none of that Marcus Smart stuff. That boy.
He played too, huh?
Hey, what that boy Jaylen Brown from Cut?
Mm-hmm.
He's from Marietta.
Talk about it. That's Atlanta.
The North.
The North Gwinnett.
Is there any? Oh wait! Almost forgot. We handing the ball all back to John. Breaking news: Billy Donovan is the new head coach for Jonathan's Chicago Bulls. He formerly coached the University of Florida, the Gators, to 2 NCAA championships, and he coached the Oklahoma City Thunder with Durant and Westbrook, and recently with Chris Paul. John, we have a lot to be hopeful about. Billy Donovan is a great coach. What are your thoughts on this blockbuster move?
I'm happy Billy Donovan is in Chicago, is my number one reaction. I expressed that earlier in my apartment by just screaming a lot of words and affirmations. I'm very happy that we have Billy Donovan. Obviously, Coach Joakim Noah to back-to-back championships at Florida. So he has that experience, only 55. We saw what he did with a young Thunder team. We saw he's already a coach of the year. Like, I thought that was a great move to go get a coach of the year. I don't know any other coach in free agency that has had that top honor. But that was only 2 years ago. So we have that on our roster now. And I'll say this, I know a lot of people are like, you know, in this time of really trying to promote Black excellence and promote Black people to those professional spaces that are of power, we see that a lot of the comments are going to arouse of, oh, the Bulls are just trying to get a white coach. Why did they not go get Mark or Ty Lue? You know, honestly, F all that, because this is the best coach. I know, dead ass, like, this is the best coach that they could have possibly gotten. With Gar Forman in that era finally pushed out of Chicago. I like what AK is doing, our executive vice president. I love what our general manager is doing. And to go get Billy Donovan, like, it's just, like, the best move I've seen the Bulls make since, like, I don't know when. Like, I'm just so happy. Like, we finna go to the playoffs, man. That's you already know what it is. Like, Billy Donovan walked away from OKC, and as soon as he walked away, we were in conversations with him for like a week. We was like throwing him the pitch. We were like, hey, yo, we got some young players. Why don't you come and coach these teams? You can be a part of this vision. And it sold Billy Donovan, and I'm just happy that he's in Chicago with us. And with, you know, the Eastern Conference, the bottom teams not really knowing who wants to take that AC, we probably are going to go ahead and fill that spot now. And I can predict that the Magic will drop out, and they will not go.
Yeah.
Chris Paul. That's what Billy Donovan told him. Bring him with me.
And that's another great point there. The great point about Billy Donovan now, you creating a market where players are going to want to come. They're like, oh, right. You're like, oh, Billy Donovan. Like, yeah, like, that's a great coach. Like, let me go play for a coach that has proven himself to so to say. I know people are like, oh, he blew the 3-1 lead to the Warriors and then got bounced in the first round the last 3 years. But he's in a tough Western Conference. You go to the Eastern Conference, I don't really see that happening like that unless we somehow get Kyrie and KD in the first round next year. But, you know, we'll just have to see. Hopefully we get a free agent. Hopefully we draft LaMelo Ball. And, you know.
Y'all not getting LaMelo.
What if Chris Paul play with LaMelo?
We got the third pick or the fourth pick?
We got it's the fourth.
Yeah, y'all not getting LaMelo.
What if Chris Paul play with LaMelo?
We have too many guards on the roster, but you know, we'll figure it out.
Is Jonathan too hopeful for his Bulls? From the number 4 pick to a playoff berth?
I don't disagree. You want to know why? And I'm about to really give y'all some knowledge. But I think Zach LaVine is a trending superstar.
Oh my God! Can you make the All NBA team first?
I mean, hey,
he was voted. He was voted. He had votes.
Honestly, I could see him being an All-Star next year. Not starter. It's a little too.
Wasn't he All-Star this year?
Nope.
You
sure?
I'm sure.
Well, he was doing some stuff with the All-Star.
Yeah, but he did drop 50, 40. He's done that for the past couple of years. So now the rest of the roster is solid. You have a coach who's going to put him in the best positions to be successful as the best player. So Zach LaVine I could see John being right. Lead the Bulls to a playoff berth.
Games he could be an All-Star.
It's gonna take some reshaping of that roster because I feel like with the new NBA, like unless Wendell comes off the bench, I'm trading Wendell personally. I feel like, I mean, Wendell's 5, but we are going to need a 3. And when we sign a free agent, we're going to have that salary cap after 2021 season or 21-22 season. We're going to go sign a free agent. I got to go look and see who's upcoming, but yeah.
Y'all about to get, I mean, y'all got the top 5 pick. Y'all probably going to draft a 3. I don't see y'all will probably draft a 3. And
they want Toppin from Dayton. I like Toppin.
Otto Porter for a veteran, do it.
I think the
Otto
biggest
Porter contract is still ridiculous, bro. It's like 2 years, $60 million. Like, bro, nobody.
I think he's on 1 year left. He's 1 year, 20-something million. Chris Paul's is 1 year, $40 million. You can make the switch.
And they're not doing that. Or they might do that trade.
They don't want him.
They could do that though.
The Thunder don't need Chris Paul anymore, and he's not going to be there to rebuild. So he obviously leaves, and then Otto Porter go there for 1 year, and they keep him, and then it's even.
That'd be a smooth trade. Otto for Chris.
Free Steven Adams. Also, the biggest issue.
That happened. The Bulls will be an Eastern Conference final.
If you want him, and you can go with that. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't go personally.
Free Steven Adams.
But Steven Adams getting traded too. Steven Adams and Chris Paul will be out of there.
I think the biggest issue for the Chicago Bulls would be if they were to make a playoff push this year, health. because that's one of y'all biggest issues. I believe Lauri Markkanen was injured. Wendell Carter was injured. So avoiding the injury bug is one of the key components for the Chicago Bulls team if they were to make a playoff push, in my opinion.
Yeah, you bring up a great point about chemistry and being hurt. Like Lauri and the unfortunate thing is Lauri and Zach, when they played last season, they didn't have any games, not at all. They didn't have a single game where both of them scored 20 points at the same time. It was either Lauri going off or Levine going off. And I feel like that's Jim Boylan's fault. Like you got to know how to utilize those players. Like I didn't see enough pick and pop from Lauri, not enough posts from Lauri. So I think that coming in with Billy Donovan, their play style is going to be tremendously different. Zach averaged 25 this year, maybe 26. So like we're there. Like we're there. We just needed that coach, and I'm very blessed to have Billy Donovan. Devonta, you said we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals?
If they get the ball, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's a lot of doubt. Without a big, you gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Chris Paul and Kobe White and Zach LaVine.
You're naming small guys. What about big guys? What cut say you need a good forward to be able to compete for a championship?
Jimmy Butler.
We will announce. Let's talk about the All NBA teams. Okay, first team.
We talked about that last week.
You said what? We did our rookie team last week.
Oh.
First team All NBA: LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, James Harden. Is there any shocks here? No.
Luka making it that early in his career though is a shock. Fun fact: nobody's ever made it that young. Not even LeBron.
Well, Luka went. There's no bias to that. He went stupid. Admit it.
Not even LeBron.
He went stupid. Admit it.
Times are
Not even Kobe.
Times are
I don't even think Jordan made it that early. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
So Luka didn't go stupid.
I guess next.
Second team All Second team All NBA: Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Jokic, Chris Paul, and Pascal Siakam.
He didn't deserve it.
Pascal should not have been second team, bro.
Oh my God.
Regular season. That's first. That's
God, bro.
Regular season.
Not second.
Regular season, and you can't name a forward that was better than Siakam.
Is that why? Because he's a forward?
Yeah, it's not. He was voted as a forward.
Please do.
What was Jimmy voted as?
Let me see. Actually, Jimmy Butler was voted as. Y'all talk while I do this. Jimmy Butler was voted as a forward. Siakam was voted as a forward as well. Yes.
Did Jimmy make it?
Yeah, Jimmy was the All NBA third team. All NBA third team was Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, and Russell Westbrook.
Tatum could have also made it over him.
Who?
Tatum could have been second team over Bam.
Bam didn't make it. Siakam.
I mean Siakam and Bam didn't even make it.
Yeah. I can agree to that.
What are you guys' takeaways from these All NBA teams? Why shouldn't Siakam have made it? Cut Carter and Jonathan and Marshall.
I know you like to talk about the regular season, but I don't think
it is a regular season award.
I know, but I don't like the whole regular season award thing because he hasn't proven at any point that he was. Did Lowry make a first team for a top 3 team?
Nope.
And he's the best player on the team.
The guards were Westbrook, Simmons, Paul Lillard, Doncic, and Harden. See, in the regular season, Siakam was the best player on the team.
I guess, but I don't like, you know how I feel about stuff like that. Like, I don't feel like he warranted that degree. I mean, that
accolade.
Third team, I'd have been like, all right, he up and coming. But for him to jump straight to second team is kind of wild to me.
I think you're saying it's because he had a poor playoff series.
And that might have something to do with my feelings about him.
John, were there any shots to the All NBA teams list for you, buddy?
Other than Zach LaVine not making it, I was a little disappointed. I felt like Zach LaVine had a really great year. But winning is a part of it. And when you don't have a coach that knows what to do with you, it's going to prevent you from being great. And that's okay because we're in a position now where he is going to be great. And you'll see Zach LaVine on an All-NBA team next year, like you will. And, we'll chalk that to the game. We understand that coronavirus ended a lot of these players' season, so they didn't even get a chance to finish. showing what they were capable of. When you have those players who did make the All-NBA team, they played all 82 games. Everyone you named played their entire season. So that's going to give them that advantage of getting more recognition. And, you know, that is what it is.
Yeah, everybody that name went to the bubble. But Ben Simmons got injured in the bubble, as we know, and Russell Westbrook injured his quad, but came back.
Ben Simmons was number 1 in steals this year, number 4 in assists. So that isn't a knock. That isn't a knock. Yo, what's good?
What's up, Kason?
What's up, everybody? Hey, Bruiser.
What's up, Kason?
Hello.
All right. Get him out of here.
Get away from the thing before I knock you out.
They're talking basketball.
Oh, basketball?
Who do you have winning the championship?
Me.
Casey.
I'm just playing LeBron.
And why do you have the Lakers?
Because the Lakers are the best team and they're number 1, and every team's lost.
Are you still a Lions fan?
Yes.
Oh, God. Get him off the camera.
Oh, tell them who you think the best running back in the league is.
I said Adrian Peterson.
All right.
Back in the day, he was good.
Back in the day.
He wasn't even born.
And then we have a Cowboys fan, Caden, whose birthday was yesterday.
How are you a
Later
Cowboys?
birthday. How you a Cowboys fan?
In what sense?
I heard nothing you said. One thing, they won yesterday. They won on Sunday. So, young.
My brother said, how are you a Cowboys fan? You know who the Cowboys are.
Yes, he does, but they're the cowgirl.
Talking to him.
Hey. Ow.
Oh, everybody come. It's a family affair.
Okay, good.
Just,
Oh, we do have Michael with. Do you have the Packers beating the Saints this week, Micah?
Yes.
Tell us why.
Because Devonta Adams going to show out.
Devonta Adams might not play next.
Marshawn locks up black receivers. I had Jordan Nelson, I'd be worried.
Tell them about Aaron Jones.
Oh, yeah. He didn't rush him.
Talk about it.
So, like.
They ain't played nobody.
They ain't playing no legit rush defense. Danielle Hunter was out week 1. Next, get off my camera.
Hey, Bruiser, I agree with you. I agree with everyone.
No, I speak the truth on this podcast. Before we go to the NFL, LeBron James cut out the media, saying that the way that the voting works is kind of funny. He was like, how can Marc Gasol, who was second team all defense, win defensive player of the year? That's like if a rookie making the second team all rookie team and win rookie of the year. So I just find it funny. I was really mad. I'm not mad. I'm going to drink a glass of wine and go to sleep. But, hey, LeBron said he tired of the media trying him, bro.
16 first team votes, though. I mean, MVP votes, first place.
Yep.
16. Come on now, bro.
LeBron's tired of the disrespect. He been holding it in for a minute. This is the first time I've seen him express himself.
It don't make no sense.
Did you agree with John? I mean, did you agree with LeBron, John? Calling out the media on the way they vote? Because the way they do vote is funny. Cut been saying it since forever. It's based on narrative, not based on who's truly the best player in basketball. So did you agree with Mr. LeBron James?
I mean, only having 16 first-place votes is ridiculous, especially when you look at the fact he led the league in assists in his oldest year, obviously. So I think that the way that they vote, I mean, it's been the way that it's been for years. So you can't really knock it because it's been traditional. That's how it is. And it probably isn't going to change. It's 101 votes, and I think they could probably allocate who actually gets a vote, like who should get a vote, because some people probably don't deserve it. But I know it's just writers and journalists throughout the country who get that vote. So
members, yep.
Yeah, I just think maybe if they limit it to real, like, strict NBA personnel, because some of them people don't even really cover the NBA like that, and yet they still get a vote. So I think that if they exclusively place only NBA insiders on the job of voting for MVP, then it'll be a little less flawed. Because, like, when we look at Anthony Davis, being left off all the NBA teams, right? Or he didn't make anyone, right?
No, he made the first team.
He made the first, my fault. But Maria Taylor, my fault.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Maria
saying.
Taylor voted.
Maria Taylor,
She didn't vote
didn't
him on
vote.
any. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
She didn't vote him on any NBA All Team with her vote.
Right. And people was going at her for that, which, I mean, I love Maria Taylor. I don't think people should.
Nah, they went at her. Yeah, people went at her for her vote, but then people made sexist comments, and they were in the wrong when they made sexist comments. But I thought the same thing. How can't you not vote for AD? But she said this was her first year covering the NBA, and next year she'll do better. And we all make mistakes, so I'm not gonna knock Maria Taylor.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying though. Like, if this is your first year covering the NBA, like, I don't really personally feel like you should have a vote. Like, you got to get that experience.
Yeah, you should be able to. It should be a threshold. Like, I've been in the NBA for 2-3 years now. I'm.
Yeah, it should be something like that.
Fire and then do that to him. But
Drew really just said, "I don't blame her. I do."
Misogynist, come on, let's get it. Come on, let's get it.
No, I personally think
I'm just saying.
Voting should be a mix of the media, the coaches, and the players. And you can't vote for people on your own team.
That's how Coach of the Year is voted on. Coach of the Year award is voted on coaches who are actually in the league, and they say who is the best coach. I feel like the MVP should be players. Like, these people playing against them.
I don't think it should be I think it should be a mix of all the voting, because players sometimes could be like, if they got beef, you might not vote somebody, that you got a problem with. Or if the media narrows it down to who's the top 3 finalists, then the players can vote out of them top 3. But it still might be biased, you know what I'm saying? But, I think players should have an input because, like Harden said, that doesn't require any skill. That's
a certain threshold of players should have a vote, like the All-Stars.
Well, I think this all be better.
It's going to get biased at some point.
I think it all should be voted on. This all we call it, all this, if it's voted on before the finals. I mean, yeah, after the conference finals.
After the playoffs. After the conference finals, yeah.
Yeah, I think there will be clear set.
But
like who's the
I understand why they don't take playoffs into consideration, because that's the last thing you have seen. Plus, that means the most. So
yeah, that should go into the voting.
But look at it like this: they don't let people that don't go to the playoffs get MVP anyway. So nut up.
Why would you get an MVP vote and you don't go to the playoffs?
Because if it's called the best player award, you could be the best player and your team suck.
False. You need to be the best. You need to win to be considered the best.
Winning does matter.
And it should be after the conference finals.
Yeah, after the conference finals, yeah.
I'm saying, but that would be all you take into consideration.
No, it wouldn't.
But it's not the most important part.
You should narrow it down to the top, the finalists, and then let them play the playoffs.
For example,
finals you pick.
Oh yeah.
For example,
I see you say something about finals MVP greater than regular season MVP. Why is that? Because they won, right?
Wait, what?
You said finals MVP greater than regular season MVP.
I never said that.
Check his Twitter.
I never said that.
All right, I'll check it. What he said there?
Finals MVP.
Finals MVP greater than? All right, let's see if the mind said this. Let's go. It was Jace.
Oh.
Jace tweeted that 4 days ago.
Please.
But it was based on a conversation we had in the chat because
please don't link
me. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about it Friday. What did I say? Could argue Bron should have 7 MVPs, but it's cool. Somebody said that. Oh, it's some words you can't post on here.
Demond, why can't I not blame Maria Taylor?
I'm going to be honest with you, 100% honest. Only weirdos really think about the fact that she's a woman. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. So she was wrong. LeBron was clearly an MVP, and anybody who voted for Giannis first place was wrong.
I don't think she had an MVP vote. I thought she had an All-NBA vote.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't vote Anthony Davis to an All-NBA team.
Well, he still made it, so it's really not that big of a deal.
Could he have been unanimous? Let's see.
Who cares?
No, he couldn't have. Yeah, he couldn't have been unanimous.
Unanimous matters because Steph got one before LeBron did.
You gotta let that go. That's hurt.
Hello, bro.
Bro, it's over with. It's 7 years. It's 7 years. It's 7 years ago.
He's the first MVP, unanimous MVP.
Yeah, John Morant added the voter that didn't give him a unanimous MVP. I mean, Rookie of the Year. John Morant added him. He said hi. Is there any NBA news before we shift gears to football? John, any NBA news?
Put it up then.
That's it.
I guess not. Before we touch the NFL, I want to shout out Mr. Deion Primetime.
My fault, bro. The last thing in the NBA, Adam Silver had a meeting with CNN today and just kind of discussing the layout of the new season. And I know that originally fans were expecting that on December 25th, but he says just due to COVID regulations and testing and protocols, they're probably going to push it back to January at the earliest. So we'll probably get that season in January. The plan is still to have 82 regular season games. The plan is to play in front of the home crowd with fans in attendance per Adam Silver. So that's going to be interesting to see. They said they're learning a lot from other sports organizations. Hopefully they can roll this out. The NBA has always personally done a great job of being ahead of the world in certain aspects. So we'll see what that looks like in January. I'm ready to have an 82 regular season game again. You got training camp starting right now. Players are in the bubble in hotels across the country. So they are preparing to go back. And hopefully we get the NBA season sooner than later. I'm looking forward to that January month.
It's going to be crazy, but that's perfect timing for them for ratings. Started in January, football winding down, and then you keep it going. But see, the finals going to always be in October now, which I like. I like that.
Yeah, some people don't want that, but
Might be in September.
It'll be September, October. But I'm saying it's gonna always end up pushing into football a little bit. But see, if it go January to September, that's literally perfect. That's that's perfect because that's all summer, bro. You know how every time we travel somewhere in the summer, but we never could go see a basketball game because the basketball season's not going. I mean, or it's just the playoffs or the finals. Now, in May or June, you can go to LA and catch a game if you don't live in LA.
I like the NBA over the summer. It was fun this summer watching the NBA. Like it felt like
it was cool. We had something to do. That's why I was so fun.
And then I think with the flow of it, the All-Star game might have to get pushed back. But I'm not opposed to that, I guess.
What you mean get pushed back? Oh, it had to be like in May or June, somewhere around there. Like that's what you mean?
In May when school get out around what's that holiday? Memorial Day. That'll be a 5-week.
Yeah, because it's usually on which weekend in February? That's President's Day? Yeah.
So you push it back to like April or May.
Yep. Yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully.
And you won't have to, and then they can put it in more colder climates without worrying about snow now too.
And then there'll be season ticket holders for fans probably be primarily at the game.
I probably won't miss a game with it being in the summer unless I'm traveling.
And they're gonna probably cover the first 6, 8 seats, so towards the floor probably.
Yeah.
Similar to what the NFL is doing.
Yeah, they don't want you close to them.
Yeah.
Or they'll back them up. You can move them up or back. You can really just take, because a lot of places got floor seats. You just take the floor seats out.
Yeah. Yep. Before John interrupted me for that news, I forgot. Coach Deion Primetime Sanders is the head coach of Jackson State University, the HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi. I want to shout out Deion Sanders. This kind of ties into our more black athletes attending HBCUs, as Deion Sanders is a big name. Imagine Deion Sanders walking to your mama house or your legal guardian house, and he's like, I want your son to come play for me. Who's going to say no to prom?
Was his coach list legit? Was that the real list?
He said that was false. He tweeted that was false. I think
he's trying to bring in Sap. I heard he's trying to bring in Sap and T.O.
He said that was false.
Because you bring in people like that, you got to have a big budget. So that's why I was like.
So they saying, I mean, this is a fact. He's going to be an NFL factory. Teams are going to come to him and if he got him, they're going to.
I think he's gonna steal some talent from the SEC schools in Mississippi. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I think he would definitely steal some of their talent.
A lot of looks now. The school, and it's D1. It's not like it's
D2. Yeah.
So it's D1. They're gonna get the looks, and could have a little revolution on our hands.
Do we see more NFL star athletes doing this?
I ain't gonna lie, he's bigger than other people because Grambling coach used to be the quarterback from the Redskins.
Washington football team.
Well, when he played, it was the Redskins.
But football team.
He won a championship, so.
Doug Williams.
Yeah. So.
But there's nobody more accomplished as prime that's been a head coach. Though.
Right, he getting disrespectful. Don't go back.
No, I'm just saying it's been somebody that's won something that didn't get that many looks. I said Deion, he just came from working with the NFL Network, so he's
a high school coach. I think he's using this. I hate to say this, but I think he's using this to get because they said because he wanted to be the Florida State head coach, but one of the biggest knocks on him was he doesn't have coaching experience. So I would hate for this to happen, but he might be doing this. I don't know, but he might be doing this for the game.
That's any job. You work to get experience. So if this is what he won't do, it's not a bad starting gig.
Yeah, he will try to get the experience. And if he has a winning program at Jackson State, right. the big SEC, Big 12, PACT 12, ACC schools will look at him and be like, "Oh, you can coach. We'll bring you in."
Right, and he could deny him. He could say no.
Yeah. But this probably good for Jackson State. Big for them. I know their football ticket just shot up just because he's the head coach.
Right.
And before we go to the NFL, the SEC is back and the Big Ten intends to return in late October. Excited. I know Cut Carr decided to see LSU football return back to his TV, try to defend that national championship. Auburn said they're starting Matt Jones as their starting quarterback.
Auburn or Alabama?
Alabama, my bad. Alabama. And the Big Ten said they're returning. They said I think they have an 8-game season. So keep y'all up to date. Or you guys' thoughts on the college football, the teams returning?
The Big Ten whack for just doing 8, but I respect it. They could have added the 2 teams, but they starting too late. I guess anything's better than nothing, but this is really not. I don't think this really matters.
What do you mean?
I don't think anything. The games matter to the players and for getting scouted, but I don't think as far as being, I'm the undisputed SEC champion.
I still think they do a playoff. I think they're gonna try to do a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will try to do it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I think they will try to do a playoff.
I don't think it's all that big of a deal. It is what it is.
John DeMond, do you agree with Cut Carter's pessimistic statement?
The way the colleges are set up for the NCAAF is just it's already they don't play that many games anyway, and they be having bye weeks. Sometimes teams take 2 weeks off before they play again. So I feel like the schedule is built for flexibility on a regular year, and them starting this late. I mean, it could have an impact as far as those players' health. We've seen in the NFL what exactly is happening to all these players getting hurt. I just feel like because of a short preparation and just really an unorthodox type of offseason. And that's been the same for these college players. So hopefully, the biggest thing is just really staying healthy and keeping their bodies ready to go to the NFL draft like a lot of these players from the Big Ten and SEC are going to do. So I'm just concerned with their health. That's my biggest takeaway. But I'm not really mad at the format. I think that it's still enough time for them to play a little 8-game, 10-game season is what it is, and then try to make that push for the CFP.
I don't think the playoffs realistic, but I mean, the all SEC play sounds good, but with the better players opting out, it really don't.
Sean Wade from Ohio State opted out, and there was 2 games that were postponed, including a Baylor football game last week, and the Notre Dame and Wake Forest game was postponed due to players. 7 players tested positive for COVID-19.
Sean Wade opted out again. I thought he returned.
Oh, I didn't see a news of him returning.
Sean Wade is returning back to Ohio State. He returned last year. He said he want to go win a ring.
Then he said he opted out. Yeah, he opted out. He's opting out.
He opted out again?
Due to COVID.
He has it?
No, he doesn't want to play.
I'm trying to crack the top 10, so I'm not playing.
Yeah, like what Chase is doing, other college football.
Him, Kerry Vincent.
Yeah.
Has Trevor been playing?
Trevor is playing.
Wait, what?
Last 2 weeks, I ain't heard nothing about him. I mean, I know that.
Trevor is playing.
Oh, wow. He's returning, actually.
Oh, John
Wade.
Yeah, I didn't see that news. He was returning.
Yeah, no, he's coming back. He said he wanted to win a ring. He wants to be a captain on that team. He liked the chemistry. So
I
think he returns. They have a real chance of really winning it all.
If there is a college football playoff,
I don't think they're gonna cross conference.
Yeah. I think if they do,
like the way the NCAA got to basically say I'll allow it. And with basketball, they already said they're doing what?
I didn't see what the basketball was doing.
And they was talking about doing conference play for them too, and not starting until December or something.
Well, if there is a college football playoffs, my prediction was Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, then either Oklahoma or another SEC team.
That's kind of whack to do that to the smaller schools that we trying to non-power 5. Plus, it's Power 5, so basically saying Pac-12, who cares?
They're not playing anyway.
Oh, yeah, they're not.
Yeah. Is there any news before we go to the NFL?
They're really inferior.
C.J. Anderson retired, trying to get a job.
Oh, yeah, John.
Freeman got signed.
Got it. It was and John's already touched NFL news. From the top, dun, 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 dun. NFL Week 2, we have how many undefeated teams? Let's count them out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 undefeated teams in the NFL. And we have 8 teams that have not won a game in the NFL. We'll start with I don't know what we're gonna start with. We'll start with John. What was your biggest takeaways from week 2 of the NFL season?
Biggest takeaway from week 2 was the Saints losing on Monday night. I was not expecting that. But at the same time, it shouldn't worry like anybody. It shouldn't even worry Saints fans. This team doesn't, like you heard it from the announcers, they don't start 2-0. They always start the year off a little rocky, and then they pick back up. So it was just still surprising to see the Raiders start 2-0 and John Gruden really be the coach that he used to be. So that's what's up. It's also a surprise that the Bears are actually 2-0 because we haven't started 2-0 since 2013 like the Saints, but we're here now. So I'm excited. Also, another takeaway, Justin Herbert played amazing. I don't want to say first, but only 4 quarterbacks in NFL history have started their first game with 300 passing yards and a rushing touchdown. So the Chargers have a superstar in their hands, and I will continue to play him because they should have beat the Chiefs. But that's pretty much what I took from it. Other than that, I'm just really ready for the next week. I think this week is going to present a whole bunch of games that are going to be exciting for fans to look at, especially that Bears-Falcons one.
Gotcha. I like how you touched. I didn't know you were going to advocate for the Saints today, John. I appreciate that. I thought me and Cole have to do it. But we can start with the Raiders game you just touched on. I'm not too concerned as a Saints fan. Like you said, we start off as rocky. We usually don't start off as undefeated. We go 1-1. Or we went until 2017, went 0-2, and we eventually made the playoffs. But I think I'm not to be worried about. Secondary play like crap, but they tend to do that here and there. And it's also they have no preseason games, so I believe that their conditioning is still in question. I don't think they will be at peak condition. The Saints will be at peak condition till probably after the bye for real. The bye is week 5. But the only issue, it's a great win for John Gruden. I'm not going to do that. Derek Carr played great. I was shocked that the Raiders, that was a quality win, and they needed that in their new stadium. Some questionable penalties was called on the Saints, but it was still another – that wasn't the reason why we lost, and that was still a great win. Darren Waller went stupid as well. The only biggest issue, like glaring issue for the Saints, is Drew Brees' arm strength and how – his arm in general and how will it last throughout the season. Because he was missing intermediate throws, and that's an issue. Like, I think all Saints fans know that Drew Brees can't really throw it deep like he used to. He do that once or twice a game. But if he's missing intermediate throws, and that pick before halftime was horrible, and if he's doing that, then it's kind of like, Drew, do we need more Taysom sets, or do we have to call in Jameis? But the Saints I don't think the Saints will ever like pull the plug on Drew. He means too much to the city. But
I think they will. I mean, Tony Romo had the plug pulled on him.
He didn't mean as much to the city as Drew. Like
Tony Romo didn't mean as much to the city. I mean, okay,
not more than Drew.
Okay, you're right. He didn't bring that city a championship. Tony didn't bring the city a championship, but
yes,
he was loved in Dallas. Like they love Tony Romo for some reason. And
he started winning when Drew Brees came right after Katrina.
Exactly. So I think Drew Brees' arm is a question still. His decline is interesting because if he was going to retire, then he came back. Then he said he wouldn't retire. So I'm not too concerned about this Green Bay matchup. I think we'll win that game in the Dome, and I think we'll play much better. But it's just interesting to see. And it's also interesting to see how we look without Michael Thomas. I think without Michael Thomas, our offense was slow, but not how it looked. Not to mention we had over 100 yards and penalties. So that also we all shot ourselves in the foot. What you say, Cut?
Almost 200.
Yep. The Chicago Bears quality win. Prayers up to Saquon Barkley. We're going to talk about the week 2 injuries in just a second. And Justin Herbert, you said he played great. He did. He looked good, but he made a crucial mistake when Justin Herbert should have ran for the first down. He threw it off his back foot to a double coverage, and that pretty much opened up the game for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes to score. But I think he looked good. But Anthony Lynn is saying that Justin Herbert isn't the starter. Tyrod Taylor's the starter if he's healthy. So it will be interesting to see how that works in LA as well. Because I think it may turn into a situation where if Anthony Lynn doesn't play Justin Herbert and the Chargers are like losing games, I think there will be like he may get fired for that decision. Right. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but he may get fired for that decision. Cut. What were your week 2 takeaways? I know I said a mouthful.
Saints are the Saints. We kind of always do this, so I'm not concerned. But if we don't turn it around, so be it. Cam Newton looks great.
Cam
Newton looks amazing. Like,
yeah, he looks.
That Sunday night football game was great.
Yeah, he looked good. Russell Wilson MVP right now. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks in, he the MVP. I think 2 weeks in, he the MVP, and I'll give Kyler Murray number 2.
I agree.
I think
Lamar looking good too.
I mean, all of them.
Josh Allen too.
Josh Allen's looking great as well.
Tannehill looking good too.
And Rodgers. It's too many right now.
Right,
yeah,
but I think Russell Wilson's clear cut though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree too.
The teams he beat are like, even though the Falcons blew that game, we still look at the Falcons like
Falcons might be like the best worst team in the league.
Yeah, like they're still a quality win in a sense because that offense is so prolific with all the talent it has on offense.
Yeah. What I want to say? Something wrong with MetLife Field.
Oh, because let's talk about the injuries. Nick Bosa torn ACL out for the year. Solomon Thomas torn ACL out for the year. Jimmy G got injured, won't play. He might not play this week against the Giants. Raheem Mostert won't play this week against the Giants. I think it's his ankle. Something is wrong with MetLife Field. And the Niners have to play there again against the Giants. So it will be interesting how the turf looks this week as the Niners complain about the turf. As I mentioned, Saquon Barkley's out for the year with a torn ACL. Christian McCaffrey will miss multiple weeks due to an ankle injury. It was just the injury played week 2 for the NFL. A lot of great players went down.
Right.
And those players that went down, with the exception of the 49ers, that's the season for those teams. Like, the Giants, it's over with. They're not making the playoffs. They might come in last in that division.
Yeah. I don't think you said except for the Niners. The Niners have a lot of injuries. Richard Sherman is still out. Deebo Samuel's still out. When Deebo Samuel, Richard Sherman, Jimmy G, and Raheem Mostert return, having continuity in the offense it might not like work. Like you might not show up on the field, so they might get caught like it. They might miss the offs. Like I know it's crazy to say they'll probably be 2-1 because they play the Giants, but when they play their divisional games and when they play the best teams in the NFC because they were the number 1 seed last year, they might lose those games due to these crucial pieces being out.
Well, I picked them to have a slump this year anyway, and they usually most people that lose in the Super Bowl don't come back and be good. So.
Well, in the NFC, they don't do good.
But when the last time NFC won?
The Super Bowl? The Eagles.
Oh yeah.
When they beat the Patriots, I believe.
And one more team I would say looked good.
Joe Breezy, was it?
Oh, I said he looked good. The team don't look good.
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Yeah. It's not him. It's the O-line. The O-line is terrible.
And we would be remiss if we don't talk about the Atlanta Falcons choke job they did against the Dallas Cowboys, up 20 points and won the lead. Oh, hey, I got my own. Thank you. The Atlanta Falcons, bro. I don't know how you could let that happen. Matt Ryan played an excellent game, masterful game, and they still lost. I know Julio Jones dropped the touchdown. Russell Gage threw him, but is it time for Dan Quinn to get fired, you guys?
I can't blame him for that, but I don't. But I don't. I really don't want him to get the coach from Kansas City. So,
Johnny, you think it's time to fire Dan Quinn? That would just
you
can't let that happen. You can't let that happen.
John team's determined if he gets fired.
We're doing Dan Quinn this week.
Yeah, the Bears play the Falcons. John team determined if he gets fired or not.
It's a curse on this city for sports. And I just think Dan Quinn tried to break it. He was close. But he blew
Very close.
So in the Super Bowl, and then they blew that lead again. They were up 20-0. I don't know. And it's not like you said. It's not like the calls were bad. It wasn't like bad play calling. Julio did have that drop, and I felt like that's a momentum changer. Like, he should have caught that. Players, at the end of the day, like, your big-time players have to make plays, and their players, they don't be doing that. We see that Calvin got next, so it's really him leading the receivers. So I'm just looking forward to it as far as when we have to match up to them. This is going to be their first. I think this is going to be the best defense, probably like a top 5 defense that they'll play this season. So it's going to be a testament to their resiliency. But Dan Quinn, as far as his job, they start 2-6, he's fired. I don't know if they're going to give him that, but they only went 2 games through 8. He's fired.
Let's look at the Falcons' schedule real quick.
Win. Maybe a win in Vikings.
Maybe a win.
Yeah, they got a stretch of easy games. They got a stretch of like 4 easy games. I think they could win all those games.
But as their history shows, you can't go 0-2. Like 0-2, if you start 0-2, you rarely make the playoffs. And if you got them lose to Chicago 0-3, you really not gonna make the playoffs.
I'm going 0-4, so.
So
they are gonna. I feel.
Hey, he can't start 0-4.
They might start 0-4. No cap.
If he start 0-4,
he's not gonna be there.
Yeah, he's not gonna be there if they start.
They can win them in Minnesota, depending on what Minnesota you get. But other than that, they could win every game after that for up to week 10.
I was saying they could start 4-4, and if Drew Lock is back,
they could
go 5-4. But then that's gonna take a lot of will to get a team that's in the slump like that 0-4 to
5-4. Yeah.
5-3, and then you play your rival right after that, and then the Raiders they gonna beat the Raiders. They play us back to back in 2 weeks and 3 weeks
stretch. Though after the bye, that's kind of a tough stretch because Chargers secondary.
Those last 6 games are crazy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The last 7 they played.
The Saints. Yeah, the last 7. Wow.
Yeah.
He gone.
Dang.
But here's the thing about the Falcons. Like, again, they have a high-powered offense. So it's like you want to say they could lose those games, but at the same time, it's like they also could win those games. You know?
Yeah, because their defense can't cover nothing. At the end of the day, they can't stop nothing.
No, they can't. Well, how many points have you given up in the last 2 weeks? Like
39 points average. Yep.
Like, come on now.
It's crazy. Last season I said Dan Quinn shouldn't have been fired. I didn't think it was his fault, but you can't have another poor start to the season. So he might be done. And they either will get Eric Bieniemy from the Kansas City Chiefs, their OC, or Robert Saleh from the 49ers, their DC, to revamp that defense. We move on to week 3. What matchups are you guys most excited to see? We got Thursday night football, Dolphins, Jaguars. We got Monday night football. We all know we want to see this matchup. Chiefs and Ravens Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
We have Saints.
This is a good week of football.
Yeah, we have Saints, Packers, Sunday night football, Cowboys, Seahawks. Also have the Bears and Falcons, Buccaneers and Broncos. Tom Brady goes to Mile High again. And the Rams-Bills game, I really like that matchup. That defense, Sean McDermott's defense versus Sean McVay's offense. But of course, the money game is the Chiefs and Ravens. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. I have the Ravens winning that game. I think the Ravens secondary will give the Chiefs secondary some fits, as well as the Ravens front four again after Patrick Mahomes. I think Lamar is just so smooth. Lamar just so far. What about you guys? What matchups are you looking forward to see?
Looking at the schedule, it looks like there are only 2 games in which you have 2-0 teams playing each other. I see the Chiefs and Ravens, and I see the Rams and Bills. So, I mean, those, I'm looking forward to one of those teams dropping a L. With both of those teams dropping a L on a year and shrinking that number of undefeated teams. But, that Ravens and Chiefs game, obviously, you gotta love it.
Ravens Chiefs.
The Ravens Texas wasn't it. Like Deshaun didn't come and do it.
I knew that.
Ravens Chiefs, Packers, Saints, Cowboys, Seahawks.
That Rams Bills one's gonna be good.
I actually am more interested in seeing Titans Vikings than I am in seeing Rams Bills.
Tell me why. Because of Christian and Jets. Look at you.
I think the Bengals and Eagles game will be a good one. I really like Joe Burrow.
I think the Bengals will win that game.
I really like Joe Burrow. He should win that game. The Eagles, they don't look the strongest right now.
Okay, Demond, we got you back. What's wrong with Carson Wentz?
Don't look good. I think you can't sugarcoat it. He don't look good, but I don't know. The offense don't look like what I thought it would look like. With them getting Rieger and Deshaun back, Deshaun has been able to stay healthy. Crazy with all the injuries going on, and Deshaun is still healthy, but like it's really wild watching Philly's offense. I expect them to take some shots down the field, but everything's been really intermediate and just it lacks explosion. And I'm not really seeing the Carson that I thought I was seeing. He's actually turning the ball over at a high rate too, which is very surprising considering how well he has done of taking care of the football. So it was good for them to get Miles Sanders back, but at the same time, the Rams are a really good football team, or so they look to be. So we have to see more, but it's only 2 games into the season, so I'm not hyping up anybody too much, and I'm not downplaying anybody too much. I feel like we still need to see more.
You're not hyping up nobody too much. Who's leading the MVP campaign, Demond?
Oh, well, that.
Does Washington upset the Browns?
Is it an upset?
Move on.
I was looking at that game too. I feel like the Washington football team. Dwayne is making me a believer. I like what he's doing. And
after that bad game, you still a believer?
I'm a believer in Terry McLaurin more so. I love Terry McLaurin's game. I believe he's so elusive as a receiver.
Demond.
I just don't think – I think Cleveland might have found something with the way their schemes work out and their personnel. They know how to use it. It lines up all well. Run the football, dominate time of possession.
Yeah. It should be a blowout. It should be. But the Browns have also been very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. So I'm not putting no money on this game, but
I picked the Browns. I was just asking.
Demond, you said cut. You go.
The only game I'm really on the fence about for real though, like I don't really know who to pick, is that Texans Steelers.
Oh, I'll tell you who to pick.
I'll tell you who to pick. You
need to be I want to pick the Texans. It's like my heart wants me to pick the Texans, but my mind tells me
it's not the Texans though.
I know.
You need to be concerned about that Monday Night Football game. You need to be concerned about that.
We don't play Monday night.
Got you.
Sunday night, whatever. Y'all need to
Why would I need to be concerned about anything?
You don't have the same offense. You're
Demond,
Mike Thomas might be back.
Demond, what are your week 2 takeaways?
All right. So looking at week 2.
He said, all right. He finna say all along. You got it. Talk about it.
Minnesota, there are problems in Minnesota. I'm not really sure what it is. The defense isn't out what it used to be, and I knew that would be the way with Danielle Hunter and old guys leaving who've been a part of the scheme, but they don't look good. So I just think they need to get Jets more integrated into the offense. This ties in with Justin Herbert as well, and they say Tyrod's going to be the starter when he's healthy. Why? You know the talent that you went and got. You know what you wanted. So make use of it. These guys are not going to offer you nothing to this season that you can, like, what is Jets doing fourth on the depth chart? Obviously, the guys playing ahead of them aren't better. They're 0-2. Those guys don't have a game over 50 yards. So I'm watching this, and I'm trying to understand what's going on in Minnesota. I'm trying to figure out, because I'm looking at Justin Herbert, and he's more in command of a game than a game manager in Tyrod Taylor. He takes more shots, which they're conservative shots. I didn't see one bad ball. Him throwing the ball has never really
been. You see that pass when he threw it in double coverage when he could have ran for the first?
It's still a rookie learning curve, but you don't see him like – you don't see a rookie in their first start going toe-to-toe with Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I said the same thing. He played good.
Minus his last throw.
Yeah, that throw when he threw that pick and double coverage, it was a mistake, but it was a bad mistake because they could have won that game.
And then Anthony Lynn was kind of being hard on him, I feel like once the rookie plays, you got to let the rookie keep playing. I don't think you ever – because you drafted him top 5, you don't just turn back to your starter. You run with it now. You stuck with him. Now I'm looking at Tyrod like Jimmy G got hurt. You want to go to the Niners or something like that? That's how I'm looking at him because you got to stick with unless you keep him as a backup. But I know he don't want to be a backup at the age he is.
He's a backup. His career is being a backup.
He gonna be a backup and start on a team that needs a backup to play. That's what I'm saying. But
the Niners don't.
My point is, once the rookie plays, you gotta let the rookie play. That's how I feel.
I agree.
It's like if Tua come in at any point. You don't go back and because then you're messing with his confidence. You let him run it now. You play, let him play.
I agree with that situation, except for a team like Green Bay with Jordan Love.
Well, that's different.
That's why I say I agree with it.
You got a superstar quarterback.
Any more takeaways, Damon?
Yes, a couple. The Ravens just have depth. I predicted the Texans would start off 0-4. That fourth game would be against Minnesota. I don't know about that. Maybe they get their season going a little bit more quickly than I expected. But the Ravens are loaded. I just think depth-wise, they have the best team in the league. They have the best roster. They have the MVP, and they got stronger in all facets. They got another running back in J.K. Dobbins who could do a lot. Calais Campbell. It's really not fair when you watch these guys play. So I feel like this might be the game of the year we're about to watch on Monday Night Football between them two, the Chiefs. Other than that, last thing, and we already know I could go all day about Russell Wilson. We all know. But I'm worried about the Saints, man. And I understand that's your team, and y'all have been 13-3, and y'all have had a great – this year isn't like others. The reason I say that, penalties don't just pop up and go away. If you're an undisciplined team and you're sloppy and it consistently shows, you will be affected by that. And the Saints were affected by that down to the last play with Jack Rabbit holding Henry Ruggs. You can say what you want to say in the refs and Vegas and all this. It's football. He held his arm. That's a pass.
If he extended an arm bar and he pushed back, how is that?
You can't wrap it. You can't wrap it. You can't wrap his arm. You can't do that.
I know he hooked him, but the point of him hooking was because he was extending an arm bar that he was trying to move, and he so happened to hook. But, I mean, you know, people going to call what they want to call, but I'm just saying that's something that they didn't try to acknowledge. Then the what they call the block in the back, there was a lot of stuff that was just stupid that shouldn't have been called. But, I mean, you know, you got to get your first win at home, I guess.
But also, I just feel you got to take a little bit more accountability as a Saints.
I will take accountability.
Every time a Saints.
No, those were two that should not have been called.
There were some questionable PI calls in the game, but that wasn't the reason why. I understand that,
but I also like y'all got to be a little, you know, they outplayed y'all in all facets of the game. They outplayed y'all.
We did not. In all facets of the game? No.
Yes.
Okay. I can agree to that. It's not hard to agree with that cut.
And all facets of the game. That's like special teams. They didn't outplay us in special teams.
How not?
Go look at the special team stats. How did they outplay us?
I was looking at field position. I'm looking at where they were able to down the ball. When they punt the ball, they were down 0-10. They were down.
Right. He was down 0-10 after Kamara was getting the ball, and then Sean Payton started calling complacent calls. You can say he got out coached. Sure, he did. You can say the offense didn't play well after halftime. They didn't. But I think the defense was in a bad position anyway, and the play calling again goes to the coaches. They kept putting people that kept getting beat by the same dude on them. Then they put the dude that stopped them, and they kept switching them off them. It was weird play calling. On third down, you all out blitz, and the all out blitz never works for the Saints. So I don't understand why would you go to it.
That's Dennis Allen patented move.
It's just it's a bad coaching game to me. And the penalties and the penalties is the players' part on that part, but and then people out there crying for helmet to helmet calls on hands hitting helmets and soft stuff like that. So,
I don't agree with that statement,
but I do just want to say, are we really going to act like Drew Brees lack?
Oh, Drew Brees played terrible.
Okay, so.
But he got 300 yards because that's what he got.
No, don't bring up them yards. Please don't.
The yards he liked to get.
I knew you was going to do it.
He said stat pad.
I said he stat padded.
I just had to make sure.
Yeah. But Kamara didn't.
Kamara needs to have – if y'all are going to be Green Bay, Kamara has to have 20 carries.
Kamara has – I'm saying, to feed him. I don't like Latavius Murray. I'm upset with even trying to get Leonard Fournette. I don't like Latavius on the team. I never have. I don't care.
Because I know y'all feel like –
he's supposed to be Ingram's replacement, but he's not that good. So Kamara was running.
You don't even get enough touches.
Latavius plays very well when he gets the ball.
He doesn't get a lot of touches.
He didn't play well yesterday.
What do you expect him to do with 5 snaps?
How Montgomery played garbage. He could get cut.
mean,
out the backfield, you there to catch, you receiving back, dropping balls. No, sir.
This would be even worse if Jason's there. It was a bad game. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Kamara's the only one that I give. And Kamara and Eric McCoy played great. Everybody else,
Trey Hendrickson played pretty good. I like what I saw of Trey Hendrickson. He had a sack. Malcolm Jenkins played absolutely horrible.
Tell me about it.
Chauncey had a pretty rough game, and Marshawn had a rough game.
Williams played bad. Still can't tackle.
So, hey man, y'all got some things to work on. And
this was early in the season, bro. I saw the Saints wasn't nobody. The Bleacher Report top 5.
But let me tell you, y'all fall down to 1 and 2.
Nah, I don't think that's big of a deal. I think if we could lose this Green Bay game, and we might have to see Green Bay in the playoffs. But if we lose that Week 4 game against Detroit, then I think it's time to panic.
Nobody's worried about that.
But what if? What if?
No, I'm not disrespecting y'all like that. That'll be 500, at least 500 by Week 5. After
I think about will be above 500 for sure. And
yeah.
And what are your Week 3 takeaways before we move on?
Week 3 takeaways. I'm very interested to see how Dak plays up against Russell Wilson. That Cowboys secondary is cooked, but so was ours. So it might come down to who gets the ball last. But I know what Russ is gonna do. So yeah, I'm entertained to see what Dak does.
Rain Dakota Prescott.
I think this could be an Aaron Rodgers come out for MVP game officially. Put his name in that ballot.
Okay.
Russell Wilson. This game could be huge for Green Bay, and I think this is an AFC Championship preview for sure. No,
you have Lamar winning a playoff game.
Yes, I think
September 22nd.
I definitely think that this is an AFC Championship preview. I don't think this game means much with it being so early in the year, but
it means much. Home field advantage, ball.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to get the number 1 seed based off them having to go to Tampa Bay, them having to go to New Orleans. They'll probably have more losses on their schedule than the Ravens.
Gotcha.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to say the Chiefs are coming out until something makes me worried about what Patrick Mahomes could do, and I don't see anything doing that.
Gotcha. I agree. Is there any NFL news I missed? I saw Devonta Freeman signing with the New York Giants due to Saquon Barkley's injury.
Devonta?
Yeah, from the former Atlanta Falcons. Florida State. Also, NFL fined multiple NFL teams and franchises, and then coaches, including Sean Payton, John Gruden, Pete Carroll, Oh, who I'm missing?
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio, and there's one more.
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan. Thank you. Due to them not wearing a mask on the football field while they're coaching, and they also fined the team $250,000. So the NFL is hammering down on these coaches to make sure you wear a mask during coaching. You can call a play, but as soon as you call a play, you got to put it back up. That's what they're pounding on. Also, Blake Bortles signs with the Denver Broncos due to the Drew Lock shoulder injury.
Cap's not coming back, so
No black hole.
I hope we've all let that ship sail, and we've all come to grips with that he's never playing another snap again.
Well,
I don't understand how people that worse than him keep getting signed.
That is actually crazy.
The ship is sailed. It's done.
That would be great in Denver.
It'll be funny.
It's just like it'll be different if they pick somebody that knew the system. Blake Bortles' last stint was with the Rams, wasn't it?
He was backup quarterback for Jared Goff last year.
I'm not understanding the thought process behind a lot of
we all know what it is.
We know what's up.
Yeah.
Also, before we move on.
Yeah, that's messed up. Like, I'm sorry, just like like Blake Bortles, Mr. Pick Six himself, like over someone whose last season was like 25 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions.
Hold up. Let's not act like his play was good. I never said that. He definitely deserved to get cut. I'm not saying that.
His contract ran out. He didn't get cut.
Right. I wasn't, but he deserves a job now. That's all I'm saying. But he's not
a backup job.
Right. He's not a starter though in the league. I don't think so.
He could start with Blake Bortles in my book.
Blake Bortles starting? No, Jeffrey Driscoll would be the starter.
Oh,
they're bringing Bortles in to be a backup. I'm saying Cap is not a starter in my mind today. Yeah.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I don't think Jacksonville is tanking for Trevor no more.
Gardner! Hey, man.
Why
didn't people believe in Gardner?
Cut was on to something in the summer. Ain't that right, Cut? I'm giving you a credit. You know, gonna take it or not?
I'll take it what I see.
About Gardner Minshew and how he been balling.
Gardner, I like Gardner. I think they win on Thursday night.
They should have went on Thursday night.
I might have to start him over Carson Wentz, but they play Cincy, so I might have to take the matchup. But Gardner Minshew, he's a real deal, man.
Minshew magic. I thought it was a flop, but I guess it's real. Him and Sharp got a connection. They got Robinson toting that thing, and Keelan Cole as the number 2 receiver going stupid.
Score 2.
And I forgot bro first name, but last name Chavot.
Laviska, Chenault.
Yep, Chenault. The Jaguars team,
they might not need Trevor. You know, they might need something else. So.
They'll be competitive. They just won't win a lot of games, in my opinion.
They what?
They'll be competitive. They just won't win a lot of games. And their rookies have been playing sensational so far.
TJ Henderson as well.
And Caleb Vaughn. You said what?
I think most of the rookies around the league actually have been playing well.
Right now, Bruiser, why are you talking about it? They could be second in their division. They could come finishing second in their division.
I still have the Colts over them.
The Colts look good.
Despite that week 1 loss, they just destroyed Minnesota.
They destroyed.
But the Jags beat them.
I don't know. It's 2 weeks. Indy wasn't healthy on offense. Unless you're 0-2, your season is still up in the air.
Now, they're gonna be an 0-2 team that possibly come back.
I think the Falcons are a good team.
So
Falcons about to lose
2 teams can
straight.
Huh?
Falcons about to lose 2 straight.
You don't want to put nothing on it.
John might.
I do.
They play the Bears then the Packers.
You want to bet on the pod, John?
Bro, I need that 15, bro.
Bet that 20. You bet 15. Dumb.
Trying to help you out.
Dub.
10 or 20. Nobody do 5s.
Yeah, I bet you a dub, bro.
All right, appreciate it. That's easy, dub. AJ Terrell with a pick on Trubisky, first of the career.
Speaking of first of career, shout out Christian Fulton from LSU getting his first career interception, albeit it was a tipped ball. An interception is still an interception.
LSU faith in a team that's giving up 39 points on defense.
I'm sorry. Y'all still have to put up points.
You're also talking to a team that's top 2 in points allowed, so that's what it is.
Okay, and they have is Trubisky gonna keep up with Matt Ryan?
Their defense is trash. Like,
do you wanna pick up on the next level? Because I bet you Matt Ryan puts up 28 on that defense.
no, he's not putting up 28 on us.
What you want bet?
Out your mind. They put up 28 and we lose, I'll give you 30.
What you want bet?
I'm telling you, if they put up 28 and we lose, I'll give you 30.
Bet.
That means the opposite. If that don't happen, you owe me 30.
Hey, John, do your first guarantee.
I guarantee.
I guarantee the Chicago Bears will beat the Atlanta Falcons and allow fewer than 28 points.
And go 3-0. And go 3-0.
So, Bruiser, when we come back next week, I want that clip in black and white. That podcast better start. I guarantee the Chicago Bears. Come on, John. I need it.
Derek, there's no more sports news. Let me check to make sure. There is not. We give it to you for music and entertainment news.
So speaking of music, Justin Bieber dropped a new song
Baby.
with a rapper called Holy. It's okay. It's not bad. Not nothing I downloaded, but it was okay. Alicia Keys dropped her project, and the song with Sanford called 3 Hour Drive is doing well. But still dropped a new song. I don't know y'all know who that is. Action Bronson dropped a new song. Blood Orange dropped a new song featuring this group called Park High Gin. Sam Smith is back with a song called Diamonds. Lil Tecca dropped his album. I did not never get to check it out. I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to a lot of old stuff this week.
What you said, Demar?
Same.
Brent Faiyaz dropped a new single called Dead Man Walking that I really like. So I took it upon myself to go listen to all his music because I never listened to him before. He had a couple songs I liked a lot. One being called F the World and one being called Rehab and Bluffing and Lost Kids Get Money, Make It Out. And then on his older project from 2017, this song called So Far Gone / Fast Life Blues and the song called Need It. I also went back and listened to 2088 the other day. So amazing. 2088. Heard they're working on a part 2 of that, so that was exciting.
Before you continue, was there any like rap and R&B artists, male, women, and men that got together to do a collab tape? Asking the old heads, like like a tape like that, like 2088.
The Carters, but that came out after.
That counts.
Men and women. I mean, Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige do a lot of songs together, but I don't think they had their own project.
Do you think there should be more of these collaborations between
Drake and Nicki missed their window?
Yeah,
between rappers and R&B singers?
I think it's something that could work if it's actually like good. You make great music together. Because basically they were always frequent collaborators, and then they just turned that into. They ended up dating, but they also turned it into a project.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple people like that.
I wouldn't be opposed to the Weeknd Ariana Grande mixtape.
I would not either. That would sound great, actually.
Speaking of the Weeknd, Bryson Tiller is dropping a deluxe version of his first album, Trap Soul, this Friday, and it will feature a couple of old songs. I think it's called The Interlude That Never Ends, and he will also have
that from X posthumous tape.
You said speaking of the Weeknd.
So it's called Just Another Interlude. I'm about to get to it. Just Another Interlude, song called Self-Righteous, and Rambo Last Blood featuring The Weeknd.
Oh, cool.
Yes,
I'm hyped. Why you ain't mention Moneybagg Yo and Black Youngster mixtape? What you doing? That's the hardest thing that dropped this week. No, it came out this Friday.
I'm glad you're here to tell me, because if you wasn't, I would have not mentioned it. Bryson Tiller also dropped a single this week called Always Forever. I listened to it a little bit, but it wasn't. I was doing something and it didn't pique my interest, so I got to go back and listen to it.
There's only one Always and Forever I listen to, and that song is amazing.
Yeah, it's in my top 100 played songs for the year.
I've been listening all day.
Yeah, Mariah the Science is featuring Lil Baby. Speaking of new music, this Friday we get new Travis Scott featuring Thug and MIA.
Okay, wait. I gotta say it. I gotta say it for Maul since he's not here. Travis Scott singles haven't been hitting as I've been accustomed to throughout my Travis Scott fandom. if this Travis Scott single is not good, what do we think of Travis? Because that Tenet song for the movie wasn't all that. I didn't like the Scotts. I think there was one more song he released, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, as long as the album is gonna hit, and we know it's gonna hit, Travis will be fine.
We know.
Well, I know. Well, I mean, based on his track record, what Travis project has been bad though?
I don't know. Travis project's bad.
I haven't liked this. Disrespectful. Yeah.
Wait, he's dropping a song called "Dance Like No One's Watching." ASAP Ferg is dropping an album called "Floor Seats 2." Lil Wayne will release the original Carter 5 that was supposed to come out years ago that never got released, and it is supposed
Drake.
to have a Drake feature on it. 2 Chainz will Help Me God album drops this Friday, Lil Baby, to be announced. I think it might be Lamborghini Boys.
If Baby drop, that's the only thing that getting played.
Action Bronson drops Only for Dolphins album. Mozzie will drop Occupation Hazard album. But I think this is Machine Gun Kelly. Tickets to My Downfall album.
You didn't even have to mention that.
Lil Peep, Hellboy streaming on streaming platforms, his old project, so they just added it to streaming platforms. Rest in peace, Lil Peep. Lakel is dropping All In You. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's like a sing rapper. He's pretty good. Got a couple songs with Quando Rondo and those people. So yeah, those are the songs. Those are
also Don Life is the official theme for the NBA Finals. Don Life by Big Sean featuring Lil Wayne.
This is true.
Wayne becoming kind of hard on some of their features now, boy. Man, might have me kind of excited for this Carter.
Dropped a video for a song called Dolly with Lil Uzi. The video looks great. Shot by Lyrical Lemonade, Cole Bennett and the gang.
Wayne might have some of them old Wayne bars might hit different. No.
So
if he got anything like Blunt Blowing that's coming out, I'm gonna I'm up with the scissors. Life is a choice. That is the decision.
Ty Glizzy dropped Young Hefe 3. 2C dropped the album called Poetic Pain. I never listened to it.
I got a question. Do you listen to all this music? You mean?
No, but some of them I'd be interested in checking out. 2C somebody I'm interested in checking out. He got a Summer Walker feature and a Lil Durk feature, and some of his music sounds
YG good. Has a single coming out Friday.
Okay.
Will we still listen to that guy?
No, I will not.
But do I listen to everything I talk about? No, but some people might love it.
John, did we miss any music? Or did we cover everything?
Not as far as I know. I don't know if anything underground dropped. I'm just looking forward to a few albums. Bryson's new album, Travis's new album.
Single.
And I'm definitely excited for Bryson Tiller. I think it's been long overdue.
Oh, right. John back.
Wasn't Drake supposed to drop album in the summer?
Summer's over.
Stop John back.
Drake full of cap.
Anyway, what about to say?
I said Sap John back.
Hey man.
You can't talk about John.
Huh?
Hey bro, it's the first day of fall today. The summer's officially over. It's time to get cuffed up. So
it is.
You know
Puffin season. Season.
Hey man, I might be getting it.
Yeah, we know that. What I just said. You the one.
I'm cuffed all the way up. I don't even.
No, I'm saying you the one talking about.
She must be watching. She must be watching, huh?
She might.
I was about to say something about just one more thing I want to mention in terms of music.
Do you have a top 5?
Shut up. Something I want to mention about
music. That means you don't got it. Oh God.
I actually do.
Wow.
Oh, thank God. Is it something we all can do? Whoa.
Top 5 collab projects.
Top 5, no debating. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
We can do that. We can do that.
You know I know why, man. Don't even play me.
I don't know. I gotta get my phone charger.
All right, I got mine off the rip.
How you got yours off the rip?
Because I was thinking about collaboration when y'all started talking about R&B and rap. So I was just thinking about collaboration. All right.
Dang, little lady. Can I get mine together?
John just ready. He going off the dome.
It shouldn't be that hard.
It is. It's a lot of good collabs.
John just you said collab projects?
Jack Boys is a collab. Honcho Jack is a collab.
Yes, Derek, we know.
Save your list.
No, I'm saying I'm just naming them, so it's hard. A lot of them come to mind.
Calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Nah, you right though.
You know what I'm saying?
No, just one that I'm probably gonna take.
Come on, John. You was just confident in yours.
All right, here you go. Number 5.
Collab tapes can be various artists. So like Kendrick Lamar, Black Panther project, that is considered a collab.
Thanks.
For sure.
Thanks.
I almost pointed at you, but we on. I forgot what we were doing.
Number 5. I have no honorable mentions. I'm going straight off the dome. Number 5, We Are Young Money, 2010. Love that album. A lot of great songs. Number 4, I'm probably gonna go 2088 by Big Sean and Jhené Aiko. Number 3, What a Time to Be Alive. Actually, number 3, that's gonna be my number 2. Number 3, I'm going Jack Boys. Number 4, number 2, I'm going What a Time to Be Alive by Drake and Future. Number 1, I'm going Watch the Throne, Jay-Z and Kanye West.
Okay.
I'll go next. Number 5. Well, let me get this last one together. Sorry, fellas.
Actually, I'm taking it out. My fault. I'm taking the Jack Boys out at number 3, and I'm gonna replace that with the Carter's Project. Actually, I am gonna put Jay-Z in there twice. I took out Jack Boys for my number 3, and I'm replacing that with the Carters. I'd be remiss because I went to the concert and it was just lit. So I can't even lie. I love that album, and I love the presentation of the songs at the concert. So it's definitely a number 3 for me.
Okay, bet. My number 5. I guarantee none of y'all had this on there. Cozy Tapes Volume 1, ASAP Mob, came out 2016. Fresh back in Atlanta, but that was turned. They had Wiz on that tape. This is when Uzi was just like blowing up. He was on that tape. And Rocky, he hadn't got no music from Rocky in a minute. Still ain't got no music from Rocky in a minute, so this is hard. Number 4, Jack Boys. We all know Jack Boys. Number 3 for me is gonna be What a Time to Be Alive. Classic, very classic. My number 2 is Watch the Throne. Watch the Throne came out. We all know. And my number 1, you already know, Wiz and Spitta. 2009 was a tribute to their first mixtape that came out in 2009. So, yeah, I can tell you I can go word for word, every bar on that mixtape.
Word for word, bar for bar?
Word for word, bar for bar, son. That's my stuff.
On past the rock, I guess I'll shoot. All right. 2 honorable mentions. Big Sean and Metro Boomin collab. What's the name of that was? Double or Nothing. And Honcho Jack with Quavo and Travis Scott. Number 5.
My honorable mention would be No Warning, Without Warning.
Good job. Smart man. My number 5 is Want to Be Alive with Drake and Future. Number 4 is the Jack Boys tape. Number 3 is surprising that Devonta put this on his list, but Kid See Ghost is in my top 5.
Reborn and Cuddy Montage couldn't carry it enough for me.
Number 2, Without Warning. 21 Savage, Offset, and Metro Boomin. That tape was hard. I really like that tape. That project. And last but not least, of course, what number 1 is, the best collab album probably in history, Watch the Throne.
All right. I have 2 honorable mentions. I have Super Slimy by Thug and Future is one of my honorable mentions. And I have Slime and B, Chris Brown and Young Thug is one of my honorable mentions. Number 5, I have 2088. Number 4, I have Honcho Jack. Number 3, I have 21 Savage and Metro Boomin Savage Mode. Number 2, I have What a Time to Be Alive. And number 1, I have Watch the Throne.
I forgot about Savage Mode.
It's really 21. Like, I really went to my iTunes and changed it to straight 21. But also, I left Drip Too Hard off mine. That'll be my other honorable mention. I got racks up in my jeans. What? Thug did his thing, boy.
I also have an honorable mention. Whichever was the name of that Young Boy Kevin Gates tape that was on the Forest.
That's Young Boy tape. It's Young Boy tape.
No. It came out as a fourth EP first. Then he put it as one. That Kevin Gates and Young Boy went stupid.
It was like 4 songs with him and KG.
Yeah, then he just put it all together.
I'm surprised none of y'all said any DJ Khaled album. Like,
I'm gonna say Internet.
What the heck? That's a podcast. What is this man talking?
Bruh,
Yeah, some
DJ Khaled straight.
What's your favorite DJ Khaled album, John?
The song they have, I Got the Keys. That was a great album.
The keys.
Nah, I want to hear you say the album. What's your favorite DJ Khaled album?
I don't know the name of that album.
Suffering from
I
Success.
think it's Major Key. Yeah, that's Major Key.
Yeah, Major Key was hard. Major Key was fire. It had that J. Cole song on it. It had Nas on it. Nas album Done.
Hell's Kitchen with J. Cole. What's that song with Wayne that was on there?
Hey,
I'm thinking about Suffering from Success because that was hardest to me. But
No, you're not.
I know. Yes, I am.
No New Friends was the only song on there. Oh, I'm Still and I Want to Be With You.
DJ Khaled. It was.
You think about Grateful. Grateful was good.
I'm about to look.
With Insecure with Nas.
Grateful had Wild Thoughts, I'm the One.
Suffering Success had You Don't Want These Problems with Big Sean, Meek, No Motive with Wayne, I'm Still, Chris Brown and Wiz, I Want to Be With You, No New Friend, and Hell's Kitchen with J. Cole.
I Got the Keys for free. Nas album Done. Holy Key. This album was hard. Like,
yeah, Major Key was hard though.
Major Key alert.
I like Father of the Side more than Major Key.
Did y'all listen to Taurus with Travis Scott and Lil Wayne? Bustin' tripping.
Who would have thought this would turn into a DJ Khaled podcast?
Thanks, John.
I like Father Side too.
Yeah, Father of the Side was good too. Now he got two.
I don't have any song off that album.
Father of the Side, you tripping?
You tripping? The Freaking You with Wayne, hard. No Brainer, hard. Thank You,
I think
hard.
I'm standing up pretty
Higher, Weather the Storm, Freaking You, Thank You, Just You Stay. Just Us with SZA was fire. SZA killed that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't like it more than Major Key, but it was all right.
Major Key alert. Is that a podcast? Is that a podcast?
Is it?
What if Travis dropped this album? What if Travis dropped this album with Cudi though?
Oh God. Is there any news breaking?
Think we good, my brother?
Before I get into what? Rainbow?
Yes, bro.
I don't mind. The Lakers losing, so I don't mind. I don't care. Before I do my usual spiel, I'd like to say rest in peace to Supreme Court Justice RGB. Fought for democracy, was one of the few women on the Supreme Court. I just want to say rest in peace to her and what you stand for and live for. He was a GOAT on the Supreme Court. And this will conclude episode 75 of the PACT Life Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're available to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. Follow us at PACT Life Pod or PACT Life Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Beside me, we're going to start diagonal with me. We got my brother, Mr. Cut Carter. Below me, we got later rival, Mr. Demond Geis.
Thank you. Follow me on all social media at Demond Geis.
Every yard matters.
Every yard matters. Follow Every Yards Matter for the best NFL content and analysis.
And last but not least, we got Mr. Johnny Mars. I let Johnny Mars go last because I feel like something's on his mind, so I'm gonna let him speak.
Nothing on my mind, just the fact that City of Louisville is preparing for riots and protests because those officers are most likely going to get off, which is unfortunate. But you all, I'm ending with positivity. 100 days left of 2020. So make sure that you spend those days wisely. It's fall.
Yes,
It's that
sir.
time.
Yes, sir.
Bring out that winter drip. And you know what I'm saying? Me and Derek had a chance to go out this past weekend. So it's October. It's the month of festivities. We lit all month.
I bought this
in October yet. That's how
Talk about it, John. Positivity. We about to be in the land of angels tomorrow. Yeah.
I bought this cold ass jacket in North Carolina, 40% off. Can't wait to rock it.
8 more days.
Yes, TV boy. I'm acting different. Check y'all check out my boy Laura Fubu with the hats. This custom little Kobe hat.
That hat hard, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, man.
So you messing up your hairline trying to turn it all the way around like that, bro.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
And I'm your host, Bruiser Carter. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with us. 75 episodes. Who would have thought we would reach this achievement? This is a time for celebration. 25 episodes more till we had a huncho. Looking forward to it. Popping bottles.
Literally. Nah, if you're not in Atlanta in October, you're missing out.
Derek said he hitting at something. Okay. These boys up to something.
Nah, it's about to get lit for real.
And we're out of here.
New Pack Life.